Hello everyone, Cryolite here, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. So, we have done a lot of work, as you can see. In between the last episode and this one, I decided, you know what, I'm kind of tired of the base looking like crap. So, what I've done is I took a bunch of dirt, and I used that building wand I worked so hard to get, and I made a big layer of dirt. And we still have all our old stuff underneath here. I put lamps around so that, you know, there's light. But I wanted to kind of make it so that we didn't have this ugly area out the front of the base, and we have a nice kind of blank canvas to work with out here. And we will expand the base into this direction as well. And I also worked a little bit on the exterior, not a ton, there's still a lot of work left to do, but I made these concrete bricks. These are a different kind of concrete. This isn't the kind that you run faster on, but it is easier to make. In the assembler, it's only a single clay dust, 2 sand, and 5 gravel to make 16. So I made quite a bit of this because I think it looks cool. It's a little bit more industrial than the cobblestone aligned bricks, but it has the same, you know, the same pattern to it. And so I like that. And then I went ahead and made a large garage door for our first floor, and we have a large one for the second floor as well behind the EBF. So I can get out more easily. So let's go ahead and tour what's changed. I have torn down a lot of what was in here. There were stairs down previously and stairs up. You'll notice those are both not here. Kind of flattened a lot of this, opened up the space to the left. I cleaned up this whole railcraft boiler situation. It's over 1 tile closer to the iron tank. I put a large steel fluid pipe so it can finally, it can shove all of its steam into the iron tank, though I still don't have enough output that could ever happen. And I kind of made this a cleaner setup as well, rather than having a item pipe coming out the front. I just used a conveyor on the side to pull wood into the macerator, and then the macerator auto pushes wood pulp into the assembling machine, which then is doing the same thing. I did use sodium batteries because that's all I had on hand for those, because you'll see where the other batteries went. And then I ditched my old water setup. You'll notice there's no longer water coming in from the ceiling, and the connection, I broke off the connection. I guess that's still going to that little tank there, but that's it. And the reason for that is because this Stirling, and I've talked about this before, this Stirling water pump is equivalent to 7.5 of those Railcraft ones. And since I already have a nice infinite fuel supply set up here, I figured why not just do it this way? It barely uses any fuel. It's equivalent to 1 furnace in how quickly it burns fuel. So I figured that would be a much easier way to supply water, so now this is our main water supply. That does mean it's even more important. We have to make sure we don't run out of glue. It will take a long time to run out of glue, but it's still important to make sure we're doing that. This isn't full right now, I think mostly because when I switched it all around, you know, a bunch got wasted and used up. So we'll keep an eye on it to make sure it fills up, but I think we're gaining progress. There's 4 slots, so we'll come back to that later to make sure. I put that bed in the corner just to have a space to sleep, so I don't have to use the adventure backpack all the time. I cleaned up some of these pipes, tried to set them more into the ceiling where I could, rather than going around the water pipe. And over here, I, you know, had weirdness going on, and now it's just kind of going straight across to these steam machines. You'll notice I took out some of the old catwalks here, the wooden catwalks, and I replaced it with a cobblestone floor. So, because this is really the basement now. I never use this area down here. So I decided, let's just cover it up. And I did. And obviously we still have our coke ovens. I put a bunch more wood in these. What else did I do? I put in a pillar there, opened up this wall. So it's really kind of just the macerator is kind of this big chunk. And I cleaned up some of the chests here. I put a lot of the ores in 1 diamond chest. There's a few that didn't fit. The salt, Certus quartz, different quartzes, and lazurite are all in this one. Everything else is dust. and we'll work on getting that processed someday. I went ahead and mined. So we mined a lot, and I mean a lot, of limonite, yellow limonite from the nether, and I went ahead and made 12 stacks of iron, which has been needed for a while, so we can get that turned into stuff like wrought iron and steel, because I was starting to run low on iron, and I even, these aren't running right now. So to get those running, we need to go collect our coal coke, and let's do a quick refresh here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep our compressor running. There we go. And now I can take these and put these into the whatchamacallits. Let me sleep. The coke ovens. What else did we do? We'll talk about it. I've done a few other things too. But first, let's throw the coke into the coke ovens. Oh, look, it's a pumpkin. What are the odds? All right, nice. Nice, a full stack of coal coke. That'll run for a while. I'm so glad mob griefing, or claimed chunks are a thing. So I don't have to worry about stuff like that. Okay, that should be all we have to do. I'm not really using this chest anymore. I guess we can ditch that. And then, yeah, I think that's all we need to do. Okay, so running the coal coke in here, 26, that will last basically forever. I mean, not literally, but it's gonna be close. Because that's 13 hours almost, I guess, times 2/3. But yeah, that's a lot. And the ashes are really building up here. And we just, I guess, shoved most of our iron into steel. So I do need to make some more iron still. Let's take another 3 stacks of yellow limonite. That'll be 12 more stacks of iron. And then what else did we do? I already talked about this. I didn't change much over here, I don't think. Our job wall is still the same. Though I can check these things off the list. We did power generation. Exterior facelift, I'd say stage 1 is done, but other than that, I haven't done much. So up here, I did find a solution for this. I played with it a little bit more after the end of the last episode, and I think the best solution is just using a drawer, which is kind of like a chest that won't allow unfiltered items, and then I use the key to lock it. So when this outputs its stuff, you know, it tries to put in the drawer first, the hydrogen sulfide works, and the empty things keep going. Uh-oh. I just realized this... Is this gonna put the empty in here? No, it won't. Okay, yeah, here's why. So the reason it won't is because I have input blocking on a conveyor right there. So this can only output that way. And it's using an overflow valve to ditch the extra hydrogen sulfide, which unfortunately I got rid of most of it. Because when I put the overflow valve on, I right-clicked it, and that somehow set it from whatever it was default set at to 8 liters. And so then it voided everything over 8 liters. So I was left with just 8 liters, which was a bummer. So I kind of wasted a bunch of hydrogen sulfide, but that's okay. But yeah, this system has been working so far, and I went and got some more oil, so we still have a decent amount here, and everything's all backed up, so... That's a lot of fuel, and I won't have to touch that for, you know, I only have to mess with it when that oil empties out. And then I piped the fuel over, I can't remember if I had done this yet, to the EBF. We'll talk about EBF changes here in a second. I did some dark steel creation, and we'll talk about why I have dark steel here in a moment. I centrifuged some spodumene that I had to get some more lithium dust for lithium batteries. I electrolyzed a bunch of salt, which got us sodium, and that allowed us to make some sodium batteries, which I could even make some more if we want to, I guess. And then what else have I done? That's just lubricant for the cutting machine and whatever else needs it. Oh yeah, I made this a little better. So this is the oxygen production system. Now it's fully automated. I feel like I did it about as efficiently as you can. So you've got the compressor next to the centrifuge, and this auto outputs essentially into the centrifuge. And then the centrifuge auto outputs into the ULV fluid tank. Now, let's see, I have to remind myself what exactly I did. So on the top, there is an import item filter on oxygen cells. So I guess we actually don't want this to auto output in the first place. That might have been, I think that actually broke it at one point. So yeah, you don't want it to auto output. So this will import only the oxygen cells, because that's what those do. We've discovered they don't block things that aren't filtered. They only pull things in or shove things out that are the item you pick. So they are not filters, they are more like picky conveyors, is the way that I think about it. And unlike conveyors, they can't do input blocking. I wish you could do input blocking with these like conveyors can, but alas, you cannot. So I am pulling essentially the oxygen canisters in. Those will auto output, and then I'm outputting with a conveyor on the west side here into the item pipe, which then shoves the empty cells into the compressor, and it continues the loop. And then the empty cells, you might be like, well, what happens? Because when you centrifuge these, you get empty cells back. Right here. So those empty cells get pulled back in with this import filter cover. And then you have to screwdriver it to allow input through the output side so it can go back and forth. So it auto outputs the air cells, but then it sucks back in with this filter cover, the empty cells. And then the oxygen cells get sucked down, and then the nitrogen gets pumped over here, which we, are overflow valving. So, because I haven't really needed nitrogen yet, but we will eventually. And then I went ahead and put a little fluid pipe for the oxygen down underneath, and there is a fluid input hatch on the bottom middle of this thing, because I don't think input hatches, I think everything had to be on the bottom, right? Bottom layer casing, yeah. Input hatch, bottom layer casing. So I had to put it on the bottom, and the only way we could share it was the bottom middle, so that's where the oxygen's going. So now we've got oxygen to our EBF. And then around the back, we have some serious improvements. Now, it's a little different than I originally wanted it to be. My original thought was I'll use 16x cable, and I don't know why 16x. I guess I could have used 8x. Oh, the reason I did 16x is because in my head I was thinking, well, I'll do a 16x battery buffer, and then it will overcome the wire loss with additional amps, kind of like how these machines can. But the problem is that's not how energy hatches work. They cannot request over amperage because of loss. So essentially they will only ever receive 2 packets per tick, and if those packets have lost energy, well, sucks to be them. They can't get an extra packet. So because of the way loss works, it would lose 4. If it started in this block and then went here, it would have lost 4 for those 2 amps, and then these 2 would lose 6. So that's a total loss of 10 from 128, which is 118, and that is not enough for the recipes that require 120 EU per tick. So unfortunately, I had to do 4x battery buffers into these, which does work. And then there's a 16x cable going into both 4x battery buffers, and there's a 16x battery buffer going into that. So there's a little extra battery loss going on here, but we get a lot more storage of energy, because right now I only have 1 combustion generator running this, which is about 1/8 of what we need. So having a lot of storage helps out quite a bit in running extra recipes. Now, in the near future, we will actually be making redstone alloy. Now that I have the blast furnace and oxygen, we can do that quite well. And redstone alloy is the lossless LV cable. So I can actually, if I want, use 8x cable and the battery buffer here, and that should work out all right. Although I'm kind of liking this just because this way I can have freaking a total of, what, 24 batteries? Which is just going to allow for more storage. But yeah, the lossless redstone alloy cables are going to be really nice. So that is something we need to put on our list. So that probably goes in the tech progress category. So we need redstone alloy cable. We need dark steel, which I told you we're going to talk about, and we now will. And then I think MV circuits are the main thing we want to work towards in this episode. So dark steel, the reason we want that is, again, we make it in the blast furnace, and now we can do that. And dark steel plates allow you to make, where are they? Apparently I can make pressurized fluid conduits, which is actually quite nice. But I'll probably wait till Ender fluid conduits. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not that recipe. It's just a regular shaped crafting. We can make the medium voltage GregTech tanks. And these are really nice tanks, as you've already seen, just because we can break them and move them. And 128 is a pretty solid amount of storage. And they only require bronze, LV pumps and steel plates and stuff. So I've already got 18 dark steel dust whipped up. And if you're curious what that is, I think we've looked at it before, but it's electrical steel dust, which is just steel, coal, and silicon. These are all low voltage. And then you mix that result with more coal and obsidian, and then you get your dark steel dust. So I've made 18, and let's go ahead and get that EBF'd. Oh, and this is an item pipe from the output. Now it's facing down, the output bus, and then there's an item pipe bringing it to the front. So that way we don't have to run around the back to get our inputs. So we're on channel 11. They're both on. And so we should just be able to shove this in here and it just hashtag works. Yeah, baby. And the power is going to be plummeting. Yeah, average output 280 EU. Jeez. So I don't know if we have enough to do 18. Did I math that out? I didn't. 18. That's like 2 million EU. I don't think I had 2 million EU, so I actually can't do all that dark steel. I'll just do 10. I think we had enough for 10. I'm also not certain if this is going to work because of... I'm actually not even sure we can do 10. We'll do 8. Because what was it? It was 120. I probably had about 1 million. So yeah, 8 should be fine. Okay, good. We do have the dark steel. I didn't know if it auto-outputted or not. And I think it does auto-output. Because I don't think I put a conveyor on that thing. Yeah, there's no auto-output setting, but it does auto-output into the item pipe. Okay. I wasn't sure if it did or not. Sweet. So there's our dark steel. And now we can get those bigger fluid tanks. Throw those in the bending machine as usual. Have I done anything else significant? There's lots of little things I did. But nothing, I don't think anything super significant. Cool. What is this? Oh, I was looking at gallium arsenide crystals. And we still need a bunch of alumina dust, which, aha, yes. We talked about brick dust before, and I actually think that might be the best way to do it for now, because we can pretty easily make bricks with clay, and we can buy clay with pennies, so it's pretty much a free... Oh, the creeper blew up all the torches over here. Yeah, that's not good. There we go. Yeah, so I've been making some extra bricks that we can smash in the macerator to get some alumina. Because cryolite's fine, it's just not that great. Speaking of cryolite, let's go fetch. Let's go fetch our cryolite miner. It's probably finished. Okay, I want to say this is probably, yeah, it's retracted. So it's done. Our final result was only 36 cryolite. What? Wait a second. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's the sporadic. Why did I think cryolite was one of the primaries in a cryolite vein? Oh yeah, that's well, we have a lot of silver and lead. That's the good news. The bad news is we don't have a lot of cryolite. Okay. I'm just gonna take the big loot for now, because I can't. Can I hold all of this? I might be able to hold all of this. I forgot to bring my backpacks. Really should have. I can always ditch some of those random gems if we can't hold it all. No, I think we got it all. Okay. Almost got it all, at least. Let's trash some torches, some stone dust, and some impure stone dust. And some gravel and some cobble. Sweet! Okay, that should do it. That is the entire vein mined out. Oh, right, it only gets one chunk. Right, so there's still more. Okay. Yeah. So I could just move it over if I want. For now, I'm going to say we're okay. I'm going to use the brick dust for most of our alumina, and then we can also, as soon as I have an MV, what's it called? As soon as I have an MV electrolyzer, then I can utilize clay. We can electrolyze clay dust to get alumina directly, which is going to be, I think, better than the brick dust method, though I'm actually curious now. Okay, alumina electrolyzer. So you get about a third, between a third and a fourth, 5/17. And with clay dust, you get pretty much the same, to be honest. It's 5/16 instead of 5/17. And clay dust is actually, wait a second. So a small pile is a fourth, right? So one clay dust can make us 2 clay. Two clay dust can make us 3 here, but it can make us 4 here. Okay, so yeah, I was just double checking. And then 2 clay can make us 2 bricks in the alloy smelter. So can you macerate coke oven bricks? You get coke oven brick dust. Okay. Interesting. I was wondering if it also gave us brick dust. So brick dust is... Oh, never mind. Oh, you only get a small pile of brick dust. Okay. For some reason, I thought we got 1 whole brick dust per clay. It's only a small pile, so that's worse then. Okay. All right. That answers that question. Back home. Okay, we definitely need another 17 combustion generators over here. No, not 17, but more than one. One is not enough. Because, yeah, this is going to take forever to recharge everything. But we've got a little bit of dark steel going. I'm just going to put the, you know, the input in the output chest, and then it's easy to have it on hand. We will go ahead and take this dark steel in the bending machine. That should be enough for 4 of those doodads. I'm going to put the battery alloy up here. And then we need to take our cryolite. Okay, and then cryolite, we do get a bunch of crushed cryolite. And I wanna do a good job processing it. So it looks like regardless, because we don't have the HV macerator, regardless of how we do it, we get 1 chance at alumina. And then I can get sodium if I want it by doing this way and then the centrifuging. But there's really no point to do that because I have tons of salt. Tons of salt. So I really don't need to waste my time doing that. So we'll just do the regular way, which is forge hammer into centrifuge. So I need to make sure not to forge hammer into washing. And I did forget we get 8 crushed per, which is pretty decent. So each cryolite ore translates into roughly 1 alumina. So that is roughly 36 alumina, but still, that's not a lot. It's really not a lot, especially because you don't even get 1 alumina or 1 aluminum per alumina. But yeah, there's our brick dust, which is unfortunate. I thought this was going to be full brick dust. Alas, it is not. Okay, and then I can electrolyze that at LV. That is the reason I'm doing it. So, there's my electrolyzer. And I did electrolyze some sand for silicon dioxide. The reason for that is because for now, this is the best way to get silicon. You take your silicon dioxide and you actually blast furnace it. No, this is not right. Yeah, this one with carbon. You blast furnace it with carbon and you get raw silicon ingots, and then those you macerate down into raw silicon dust, which is what you use for the redstone alloy. So this is the redstone alloy that gives us the lossless cables. So we'll save a lot of power if I use redstone alloy, especially on this stretch of cable. I mean, we're getting quite a bit of loss here. And the redstone alloy cables are, they're the normal amperage, but 0 EU volts loss, which is really cool. So we'll want to make a bunch of that, if possible. And the crushed cryolite, we said we need to forge hammer, but not wash. I'll throw that in there. And then, what, I've got a bunch of salt. That was for sodium. We've got all the coal in the world still. Just from sifting. That's gotten us a lot. Okay, there's so many little things to do right now. Let's go ahead and make the medium voltage fluid tanks first. I'll go ahead and grab those things. Those go in here. Probably, yeah, running low on magnetic iron rods. Maybe. So let's do another lathing session here, and you'll do polarizing. Okay, so the medium voltage, I don't have it anywhere, I guess. This guy. Wow, I just have all the ingredients for 4. That is beautiful. Okay, sweet. So that'll help a lot for when we need to move around fluids. And it was a quest, apparently. I should be checking more. We got a quest for sodium. We got a quest. Okay, there's the MV1. I got a quest for the forming press when I made that. We got a quest for making the pump for oil. Anything else? I think that's it right now. I got a quest for sodium batteries, which I will get a loot bag. I got a quest for the 16 slot battery buffer. So that was a lot of quest rewards right there. Now I should take the coins and spend them on tin cables and pistons. And clay? No, we didn't have that one. But kill all the things will give me that one for clay. I'll turn that in. I can get some clay. Ta-da! Alright, put away the coins. We're gonna need to compress some coins pretty soon. Large steel fluid pipes. Chumburger can go right in the trash can. Straight to jail. You can give me only 16 brick dust, I have now learned. Which is roughly... So it's... Yeah, basically 5... A tiny portion less than 5 alumina per stack of clay. That's not great. So yeah, we definitely want the MV electrolyzer. Now, I feel like I should get this one. So I need 8 aluminum ingots at the same time. Okay. I guess we're working towards that with the cryolite and everything. Okay, that actually just finished. Crushing the cryolite. Or did it? Yeah? Is that it? That's it. Okay. 11, 12. Go ahead and get all these smelting. I might automate this at some point with item pipes. It would make it less annoying. You can see I got lazy and I just put spruce wood in there. It's like, we have infinite wood. Why go through the hassle of actually crafting it? Okay, and then we got a forge hammer over here. All of the cryolite. And then we have to centrifuge all of the impure cryolite dust, so we'll get that going. And I wonder if we can fill in the rest of this already. We had a little bit of extra. Perfect. Okay, that'll be a lot more iron. That should make up for all the iron we just put into the steel makers. And then wrought iron I've been doing okay on. We can make steel from wrought iron. I did preemptively make some wrought iron dust for that. The problem is it's power hungry and oxygen hungry. I guess it's not that power hungry, but when you have a full stack, that's what, 700,000 EU for a full stack? So yeah, I don't know. It's like I made a couple stacks just for fun, but it takes a lot of power to make the wrought iron in the arc furnace, and then it takes a lot of power again. Because it's what, 5,000 EU, and then another 12,000 EU. So we're talking 17,000 EU per steel. A stack of that is 17,000 times 64. 1,000,000 EU total. I think I have enough though. This is 700, 850. Yeah. I have enough to at least do this. I don't know if 11. What's the right channel for this? 11. Okay. So we should get delicious steel doing it this way as well. Cool, cool, cool. else? What else do we need to be doing? So let's take a long, hard look at gallium arsenide. So we need a bunch of these gallium arsenide crystals because the diodes need these wafery things. Sphalerite and zinc are the primary sources of gallium. You can find, I know how to find sphalerite. That's easy enough to discover. Where do they talk about arsenic, though? Sphalerite can be electrolyzed for a small chance of a gallium dust. Yeah, that one's weird. It's not the normal... So check this out. It's not like the normal route. It's not like a gallium dust. You can see here... the only way to get gallium from sphalerite is to HV macerate sphalerite dust, which we can't do yet. But there's an additional way. You can just take the actual sphalerite product itself and you get a 9.17% chance to get gallium dust. So we will want to electrolyze a lot of sphalerite dust for the gallium that we need. You can get arsenic from realgar small ores in the nether. Other sources are Tinker's Construct cobalt ore in the nether and cobaltite ore in the Twilight Forest. You can use your EBF for that. You also need to level up your pickaxe. Harvest the cobalt ore. XP buckets in a crafting grade is another way. And you can also kill the stupid dudes, the kobolds. They've dropped some arsenic. So I already have one full arsenic dust from that, which is not a ton, but it's something. And I think, do I have some tinies? No. I got tiny galliums from somewhere. But yeah, and then a gallium arsenide crystal. Can I make gallium arsenide dust yet? Wait. Oh, that's not a thing. That's just a crushed crystal. Okay. So you could just re-smelt it back into a crystal. So this is what we'll be doing. Decent amount of power. And then the arsenic dust. What did it say? There's realgar? Where do you get that from? Realgar. Okay, so electrolyzing cobaltite. Yeah. But you need an MV electrolyzer for that. So that can't be right. Did it say that? What did it say? You can use your EBF for that. Wait, what? How do we get arsenic out of EBFing? Cobaltite. Oh, interesting. You get what's called roasted arsenic dust. And then roasted arsenic. Cobalt and arsenic from cobaltite. Where's that quest? Right here. Ah, this is the quest. Okay. So retrieval. Okay, so we need to do that. Too lazy to bother finding some ironwood in the Twilight Forest, even though it's super duper easy? You can make it with your EBF now using cobaltite ore. Hooray! You can also just electrolyze it in MV, which is what you should be doing, but you can't do it yet because we're not in MV. All right, well, in that case, we will go with the cobaltite method because that's actually quite easy. Isn't it? Cobaltite, yeah, it's a main ore. It's not a sporadic ore, so we can get a lot of cobaltite in these nickel veins. And I'm not sure how much we have cobaltite. Not very much. So we're gonna need to go get some more. So I shall go ahead and I'll just go mining manually for some more. Did I find... Can I change surfaces with this? Like, can I look at my Twilight Forest world? Oh, by the way, I was gonna ask you guys because I don't know what's going on over here. There is a thing over here called an aura node, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know what I should do with it. But yeah, let me know, what is an aura node? I could probably just Google it, but I haven't done that yet. Anyway, let's go mining. Before we go mining, I am going to grab the ore finder wand, and we are going to grab a nickel or garnierite or whatever, because I want to find a vein that isn't I want to find a vein that isn't in the darkness and blizzard. I'm not digging that, quite literally. We're gonna go down to the actual regular Twilight Forest. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Already found one. Okay, remove that so that stops bothering me. And we'll get rid of these trees so they stop bothering me. And off we go. Sweet. All the nickel. Cobaltite. Okay, I think that's probably enough for now. We're gonna head back to the base. Looks like my water in the jetpack's also almost out. You can see that in the bottom right. So I need to go get some more water. Alright, after it was all said and done, we've got 64 plus 7 cobaltite ore. And now I have to remember exactly what we should do with this. We get it down to cobaltite dust, and then we blast furnace that by itself with oxygen. Okay. And we'll get our roasted cobalt plus roasted arsenic. And that plus carbon dust gets me cobalt ingots. So I can make my first cobalt ingots, and then... And that you have to blast furnace. And then the arsenic, we can boost 50%. I can make arsenic ingots in the blast furnace and get our 50% boost. Heck, I could even use the primitive blast furnace for that. And then we can macerate, I assume, these ingots. Yeah. So I can boost my yield, my arsenic yield by 50%. Okay, that's gonna be quite a bit then, because all of this will make 2 stacks of cobaltite dust, and then I'll take those and get 1 stack. No, I'll get 2 stacks of arsenic dust, which then will become 3 stacks if I blast furnace it. So that is a lot of arsenic. So now I need to work on the gallium. So if we look for sphalerite here, we've got some nether sphalerite ore, which is pretty great. Let's get that macerated. Do I have any other sphalerite. We have 18 impure piles here. So that's all the sphalerite we've got for now. Might have to go get some more. And for that... right. We just have to get down to sphalerite dust itself, and then we need to electrolyze it to get gallium. Pretty small chance at gallium. I'm gonna have way more arsenic than gallium, actually. And zinc ore doesn't show up till space mining. Bauxite ore doesn't show up till the moon. And sphalerite, we already talked about needing the HV macerator. So none of that is going to work. So the only path... Didn't it say something else about gallium, though? It said zinc. Ah, zinc crushed ore. Wait a second, zinc? But I thought we couldn't get zinc ore. We can't. Okay, it's just small ores then that they're talking about. Yeah, there's just small zinc ores in the Nether and Overworld. Okay. Never mind about that then. So sphalerite dust, we just need to wash this stuff. Cobaltite, we just want to get it down to the dust form. So we'll forge hammer into the simple washer. And what do I do with the sphalerite dust again? I electrolyze it. Electrolyzer. Sphalerite dust. Okay. Got 10 alumina here. Better than nothing. As our power. We're still not even recharged on this one. Goodness. Yeah, I need to make some more combustion generators. Let's make another one right now. Okay, so I need 2 steel gears. Need 2 pistons. I need an MV hull. I'm out of steel plates. Oh, geez. That's a problem. Okay, steel plates coming right up. And I assume steel's doing fine. Yeah, this is a slow process. Okay, I need a few more. Make an LV hull. I guess I can get my stack of iron back from doing the rods. All right, there's a 1,000 iron. That's what we like to see. And there's our steel plates. Bada bing, bada boom. Combustion generator. Oh, now we're out of those things. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Make 22. Why can't I make more? We're out of tin cables. Alright. I think it's time to get a few pennies back. And keep buying our tin cables. I can make a lot too. It's not like rubber is expensive, but it's also free to buy them. Do I have a bunch of tin wire? I already have a bunch of tin wire. And rubber is just a fluid solidifier, and I just need to move over some fluid. Because I already have a bunch of molten rubber somewhere, right here. 50,000. I can also... How do I make molten rubber again? Raw rubber dust plus the sulfur. That's what it is. Yeah, we can make plenty more if we need to. For now, I shall finish the combustion generator. Okay. And then, oh, we're out of water completely. Okay. Where did I put all my cells? Did I put them all away? Oh yeah, I guess we did. We were cleaning up our inventory. We also have a bunch of chlorine. Oh, I already had one. I already had an extra. Dang it. Oh, that's the one that went with the mining drill. That's right. Okay. Alright, well, anyway, I need water for our jetpack. Let that fill up. Okay, and then we hop up here and toss down the combustion generator. Do that. Face that way, and then that goes into there. Okay, so now we've got 2 amps in. Should be a little better, because, you know, we're basically burning 8 amps when both are running. And previously we were only 1 amp in. So that's pretty rough, because that's a deficit of 7 and only a gain of 1 when it's not running. Now it's a gain of 2 when it's not running and only a deficit of 6 when it is. So it can run 1/3 of the time or something like that. I don't know if that... I'd have to think more about the math, but it's something like that. So it can run a lot more is the point. And now I should be able to just take the cobaltite dust that we've got and chuck some in. How much power are we talking here? Each one is 14k times a stack. I need about 1 million for the stack. Do we have that? And, yeah. With 2 amps in, we've already got 700 plus 230. So that should do it. Was it on 11? It's not on 11. Now, it's interesting that even though it's an unprogrammed recipe, it's not running. Oh. Wait, what? Not enough fluid output space. Oh, that one shut down. Haha, it shut down on the last steel ingot. I got 63 out of 60. That's hilarious. Or I guess it might have shut down on one of them and then it just didn't turn back on, and then we had enough power to keep that one running. But no, we didn't. We only had 1 amp in. So it definitely shut down on the last one. That's really funny. Okay, so it turns out you can't void. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if we void the excess fluids, we can just ditch the sulfur dioxide. Now, should I be doing that? How important is sulfur dioxide? That's not very important because sulfur dust is basically free. It is how we get to sulfuric acid, though. It's also pretty easy to make, so I'm just gonna say I don't care. It's basically just hydrogen sulfide. but with some oxygen in it. Yep, I'm not gonna worry about it. Sweet. Roasted cobalt, roasted arsenic. And I think we needed 16 of each for the quest. Not this quest. This one. I also need 16 carbon dust. Carbon dust, we can electrolyze coal dust, or... where is it? A diamond dust. Yeah, and we can do that at LV to get a whole stack. So let's just take a couple of our diamond dust, maybe 4, and we'll electrolyze that. And that'll get me plenty of carbon for now. There's the gallium. Only 3? Oof, that's a bummer. Alumina I will put over here. So for more gallium, I just need more sphalerite. Yeah, there's not really another way around it right now. Now, why is there a pause here? Why does it wait so long? I don't really understand what input separation does. I don't really understand what limit insertion does. But now it doesn't seem to be working at all. Oh, clicking that seemed to randomly fix it. What the heck? What is going on? Does the soft mallet fix this? My understanding was that hitting the power button off and on basically did that. We're not out of power, are we? Nope, not out of power. Now I've gone and done it. It's not the output. Oh, we're out of oxygen. That'll do it. Oh wow, we used that up fast. Yeah, this needs to be a one of those bigger tanks. Let me go grab... where did I put them? Let's replace with a medium voltage tank. Okay, and of course this is a complicated one. So the top is the import, the north is the pump out the back, and then the west is a conveyor module. Okay. So I need to... where did my wrench go? I'm always losing that thing. Okay. I'm just gonna move it because I don't want things to get all weird when I start Oh! We crashed! Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I love when that happens. Okay, let's grab that. Okay, and then we need our medium voltage fluid tank. And then we want import mode on you, but you need to filter oxygen cell to there. And then those are fine, and then we need to conveyor module there, which is set to export. And then we need a pump on the back, which is also going to export. Okay, so that'll... It won't make things any faster, but it will make so that we can store more and buffer more. Okay, so oxygen was the issue with that. Got it. But I have plenty of arsenic dust now. And we should have plenty of carbon. No, where is it? There it is. Carbon dust. And then finally, we need arsenic ingots, which is carbon dust and roasted arsenic, and carbon dust and roasted cobalt. I don't really need cobalt ingots for anything right now. I could make my cobalt tools, I guess. Could finally do that. Can I work the cobalt, though? Can I use molten cobalt to make all these things? I can. So, cobalt's nice because we don't have to extrude them. Cobalt. Do a cobalt bolt. So many different options. Okay, get rid of that. So arsenic, let's do 20. And how much is power? 28 grand for 2, so 14,000 a piece. Okay. Should have enough for that? Oh yeah, we got plenty. We've almost got 1 million. Sweet. So arsenic ingots are a thing. And then roasted cobalt. Put some of that in there. And soon we shall have our gallium arsenide crystals. Why do I have a stack of tin ingots? They're gonna wire mill this. Make more tin cables, probably. Okay, I was worried about that. So we need to do a little bit more compressing here. Compress that, compress that, compress that. So then we set this on 10, and it will turn things into dimes. Okay, and what did I do with the cobaltite dust? That was just what we roast. Okay. Roasting. Oh wow. That worked fast. So we've already got arsenic, 33, and cobalt. Hooray! What do you give me? Steel, bronze, and a loot bag. And now the arsenic, we need to macerate cobalt. I could melt down, and we could make tools. Let's do it. We can finally upgrade all our tools to be super badass. Oh, so by the way, you might be wondering where all this coagulated blood came from. Well, somehow, I have no idea how this works, but I guess it was dark enough in here. Or it teleported or something. But an infernal regenerating creeper was in here. Just constantly getting hurt and filling the smeltery with a tiny bit of blood. If it had been an Enderman, that would have been wonderful, but it was not an Enderman. It was a creeper. So rather than, you know, getting lucky, we got unlucky. But we ended up with a lot of blood. So that is what happened here. We're gonna need to plunge that. Okay. And then go put away all the stuff. Hold the healing axe for a minute. Ah, good old GregTech. So many things to do. We're gonna have 6 MV loot bags ready to go as soon as we unlock the ability to trade them. Speaking of, when do I unlock the ability to trade them? Also, I need to put these in the right spots. These all go up here. Probably reward area. I need tier 2 MV. Okay, and that shows up probably once I have the circuit. An MV machine hull. Which oddly I can already make, but the quest isn't unlocked. Yeah, okay. Okay, just taking it slow here, one thing at a time. I guess we've sort of done dark steel. What else? Let's think about what else we need on the path to good circuits. I don't really think we need anything else. It's just stuff that we already have. Wait a second. No, we do need one of these two. Shoot. Does it talk us through that? Probably somewhere. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh. I'm looking at the one that saves us a lot of resources. There's the classic one that just is gold wire. Okay, well, I mean, that's an option. How hard are these again? Iron 3 chloride is chlorine. And we'd get 10 boards per bucket. Okay. Iron 2 chloride is... Wait, what? Iron 3 chloride is chlorine and iron 2 chloride. Iron 2 chloride is hydrogen and iron 3 chloride. So that's just... Oh, there's another recipe. So we'd have to do this one. So iron dust is basically free, super cheap. Hydrochloric acid is just chlorine and hydrogen. So chlorine, we add a hydrogen cell. And that gets us hydrochloric acid. Then we take that hydrochloric acid and we add iron powder. And we get hydrogen cells back? Wait a second, now I'm confused. Iron 3 chloride, hydrochloric acid. So... why am I so confused? Okay, so 3 hydrogen plus 3 chlorine makes 3 hydrochloric acid. And then that 3 hydrochloric acid plus an iron makes 3 hydrogen plus an iron 3 chloride. So it's really just 1 chlorine plus 1 iron. No, 3 chlorine, iron 3 chloride. Yeah, that makes sense. 3 chlorine plus 1 iron. I mean, that's the chemical makeup. And we get the hydrogen back, so the hydrogen's just a loop. So iron 3 chloride is not too bad. The reason you would use the other one, the sodium persulfate, is because we use that in other stuff for like washing in the chemical bath, and that's useful for a lot of byproducts. So setting up the sodium persulfate has probably more other uses. And the sodium persulfate is made by electrolyzing. That's the only way to make it, as far as I can tell. Yeah, electrolyzing sodium bisulfate. And that's sulfuric acid and salt, basically. Yeah, and I haven't started with the whole sulfuric acid thing at all. Now, is this even worth it right now? Probably not, because it's just saving me gold, right? Because it's one board, no matter how I cut it. But 4 gold foil is one... Yeah, 1 ingot. So we're talking 1 ingot versus 4 ingots per board. It's definitely a difference, but I have enough gold and I can get more gold fairly easily. I'm not too worried about it. So let's just go ahead and wire mill this. And we'll call it a day. We will deal with the iron 3 chloride later. And the phenolic boards are super duper easy. It's just, we just do the refined glue and wood pulp. And that's 8. And we already have lots of wood pulp. Look at that. Look at that. So we just throw the wood pulp in here, and then, do I have refined glue somewhere? Oh, yeah, of course I do. I have it over here. It's my entire steam power generation. Which, it is slowly going down. Let's go grab some more. Let's go grab some more glue. Here's our glue farm. Wait, how did that? I swear I switched that and then it like unswitched it. And I've just gone with planting them randomly because nice grids are too much work. Don't ask me why I did that. Killer instinct. Alright, and then we chuck all this in the centrifuge and call it a day. We'll get a lot of rubber dust, and then all the refined glue will go in here. Oh yeah, I have some mercury. I'm just gonna put that in cells. I tried some of the redstone centrifuging. Okay, so we'll get a little bit more glue going. You go... Oh yeah, I already had a bunch. So that'll be the good circuit boards. Lossless LV cables, it's talking us through that. We already know how to do that, but that needed the EBF, so now we can actually do it. Emitters, I can just already make them. And then, yeah, we're working towards the basic circuit assembler, which is nuts. Okay, so all this goes into the chest, and then we need to make gallium arsenide. And we take 3 gallium and 3 arsenic. And there's no other recipes with gallium. Okay. We just throw it in. I presume we have plenty of power. Yes. Sweet. Okay, so then those gallium, how do we actually utilize those to make the diodes? So the diodes, good circuits need diodes. You can crush the gallium arsenide crystals to dust, combine that with fine copper wires and molten glass. Oh boy, that all sounds fun. Once you have solar grade silicon, you can use it to make silicon wafers in your EBF to make even more. Note that the wafers are much more efficient on gallium and arsenic, so even a reduced amount is still worth it. Make sure you check all the NEI recipes. You can use annealed copper wires and polyethylene to increase your output even more. Okay, so there's no manual crafting, it's all assembler. Okay, so small pile of Asga dust gets us 4 with polyethylene. The wafer, can we even make this yet? I don't know if we can do this yet. So solar, I know we've looked at this, but I don't remember how it actually works. Silicon solar grade comes from, surely there's not just like an ore that we can get these days. Yeah, it's a space mining thing. Solar grade silicon comes from what? Chemical reactor. Looks like chemical reactor is the only way to really get it. You need to use an EBF with Canthal coils. Oh boy, that's definitely not happening. Yeah. Okay, we're saying no to that. Sad day. Alright. Canthal coils. What are Canthal coils? Cupronickel, easy. Mica insulator foil, easy. Okay, so it's just Canthal itself is the only hard thing. What is Canthal? Let's discover. What is a Canthal ingot? Looks like you need the vacuum freezer to cool it down. Just Canthal dust. We do need to make MV hatches. But Canthal dust is just aluminum, chrome, and iron. Oh, that's not that bad at all. Once we have chrome dust, we're good to go. And that comes from a variety of places that we can already manage with MV electrolyzing. Okay, anyway. All this to say, back to diodes. It said something about annealed copper wire being better, so let's just search anneal. Okay, yeah, that one's better. So we can get 6 for every small pile of Asga dust. And Asga dust. Okay, we can forge hammer the Asga crystal. Make 4 of these to make 4 small piles. Or we can just macerate the crystal to make 8 small piles. Because each of these is 4. Yeah, so 1 gallium arsenide crystal is, we macerate it, and we get 8 small piles. And then 8 small piles should give us... Let me just make sure we're not missing anything. Can't do the wafers yet. I don't have tantalum, so yeah. So this is it. So 8 small piles gets me 48 diodes. That's not bad. And 48 diodes gets me 24 MV circuits. So even with the ratios I already have, I get 24 MV circuits per gallium arsenide crystal, which I already have 3 of. Okay, so these go pretty far, is what we learn here. And in this case, I might take a gallium dust, just because, like we already talked about, that gets me 30 or 24 more MV circuits worth of diodes. So I'll just go with it. Sweet. Sure, I'll take the quest rewards. I now have some Quicksilver. Good for me. Okay, so next I do need the annealed fine copper wire. So we need annealed copper, which I don't think I have any left over. I think I made the exact amount I wanted before. So we'll take a stack of copper and we will arc furnace it, which takes a lot of power. Yeah, turning this into a red stone alloy will help quite a bit with this. With the loss. Okay, how much power are we looking at here? I've got the 700, so I've got about 1 million. I can do the other stack of wrought iron. Probably not enough oxygen though. Doesn't this use oxygen for each one? I should probably not waste oxygen on steel right now, let's be honest. I have plenty of steel. And those 4 are all making steel, so we're okay on steel. Chill on the steel, Krydax. Chill on the steel. Anything else I need more of? It looks like I was starting to run low on copper, so let's get a few more stacks. Copper. There's our gallium arsenide dust. Boom. 24 small piles of Asga. And then we take our annealed copper, which... Let's see if we math this out. Each small pile of Asga goes with half of a annealed copper ingot. So I only need 12 annealed copper ingots worth of wire. And it goes on 3 for the fine wire. And then we need polyeth. I've got, what was it? 24, so I need 24 ingots of polyeth, or was it twice as much? Yeah, I need 24 ingots of polyethylene, which I think we actually have. There we go. 24 ingots of polyethylene. 24 piles, small piles, and then it should just be the annealed copper wire. And we do channel 4. There we go. And that, my friends, is mucho diodes. Should last a bit. This is really not hard at all. Optional. Okay, good. I never held the fine copper wire, apparently, according to that. Oh, it wants fine copper wire, not fine annealed copper wire. Okay, how many did it need? 8. Polyethylene pulp? Interesting. I will do the loot bag. As you all know, I like to gamble, and once we get those MV loot bags, we're gonna be able to get... By the way, I made these upgrades. I don't remember if we ever talked about that. And then I got a void upgrade as the quest reward, and I put that on the sapling thing here. It turns out that it just won't gather the saplings very often, because what happens is as soon as it has one open space, it gathers one of these, and it always gets the wood before the saplings, or something like that. I don't know. It's just, we haven't ended up ever getting more saplings, really. So, however that works, I don't know, but we basically never get saplings. Alright, there's our diodes. Boo-doo-doo! And we are drawing ever, ever closer. That goes in there. All right, this is going to take a minute, so I will just be right back. Okay, I'm giving up for now. I'm going to switch over to the good boards. I want to make circuits. So to make the phenolic boards, I need... Oh, I can just hold that to get that one quest thing done. I guess it doesn't matter. What did I need? It was glue and pulp. That's right. Okay, so we've got glue right over here. I just take some and chuck it in there. And the number is 1. There we go. It's not very fast, 120 seconds, but it does make 8 at a time. Sweet. And then we will have good circuit boards. What are cable diodes? Sometimes you just need a diode, either to prevent burning up cables when splitting off a main line or on a thermos server's chunk borders. I don't know what that means. Make one 4-amp diode and get a 2-amp one for free. Will allow energy flow in only one direction. Huh. Guess that's a thing. I mean, I'm sure there are situations where you'll want them, but they're not the normal situations, that's for sure. Also, Damascus steels. We haven't looked at this. There's a crafting recipe. Yeah, the mixer is EV. What do you need? Manganese, nickel, molybdenum. Oh my gosh, what is all this? And there's 2 different ones. Which one's worse? So this one uses more chrome, like a lot more chrome, and nickel, manganese, and molybdenum. Didn't we already find molybdenum ore? Yeah, I actually found one of these veins, I think. Maybe. Did I? Or is this the one vein I didn't find? But that's a tiny amount of molybdenum. Because a tiny pile is 1/9 of a dust. And a molybdenum ore from the nether would give me 4 dust, which is 36 of these. Which would be 72 Damascus steel from 1 ore. And manganese comes in veins we haven't found yet. Pyrolusite. I know we have found. Yeah. And that's a main ore, and we can get it in the nether. But that you only get a chance at that. But again, it's like when you have 4 of those, you're getting half of a dust, which is really like 4 small dusts, or tiny piles per. So I think I would do this one because it's less chrome. Coal and silicon are free. Roughly. At least in those amounts. So yeah, that's interesting. We could do Damascus steel. And then that just goes in the EBF with oxygen. Or not with oxygen. It just saves you time. Or power, I should say. How much power does it take to make oxygen, though? It only saves you 36,000 EU. And this costs me 11,000 EU per oxygen. Interesting. Okay, we should be done with some Phenolic circuit boards. And we just go boom, boom, boom. 8 good circuit boards. Ooh. I will take the loot back. We're up to 20. Okay, and then we are ready. Oh my goodness. We are ready to make MV circuits. Wow. That's crazy. How many should I make? I'm sitting on 27 regulars, LV, and I need 3 apiece. I think I'll make 6. I've got 8, but then that's using like all of my circuits. Yeah, I'll just make 6 for now, and then that'll leave me with 9 LV circuits left over. So we take the diodes. And circuit MV. These guys. Go ahead and put that on this list. Right there. I need some steel casings, I guess. And how do I make more steel casings? Is it just plates in a cutting machine? It is. Okay, let's make a few more casings real quick. Oh my goodness. That makes me cranky. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woohoo! Yay! All right, y'all, we got MV circuits. Now let's do this emitter real quick. Get that done. Not yet eaten. I have not yet had wine, but I have had beer. Does that craft into other foods? Not really. Okay, so now all that's left for MV is the getting ready for tier 2. So I just need to hold 8 aluminum. So now it's all about aluminum, baby. How did you get in here? You're not even a teleporter. Do I have a dark spot somewhere? Nothing over here. Under here? Oh. Oh, wow. That's really bad. I don't know how this... And this must have been a creeper explosion, because there were definitely torches in here at some point. What about basement? We're still okay in the basement? No, no red. Out up here, everything seems good. Okay. All right, so on our task list is aluminum, aluminium, cobalt tools, and MV hulls, MV machines, and circuit assembler. So the circuit assembler, you know, it's right here for a reason. It's because they needed MV circuits in them. But this will allow us to make LV circuits much more cheaply. And I want to say we've already looked at this, and this is the same, more or less. It uses less red alloy, but it still uses the 2 resistors and the... I guess it uses molten tin instead of a steel casing, which is kind of nice. But it still uses like 2, 2, 1, and it just uses a lot less red alloy. Because this represents, you know, 1.5 rubber. Actually, no, this represents 3 rubber and 1.5 red alloy. And this only needs 1 red alloy, no rubber, and we can use soldering alloy or tin as desired. And you can use these SMD resistors, which I cannot make yet. They require an MV assembler. They're actually quite easy to make. Because Electrum is just gold and silver, and we have tons of silver, so that's a tiny amount of gold. And I have a plan for infinite gold, which revolves around glowstone, because glowstone, all you have to do is centrifuge it, and you get gold and redstone, which are both important things, and having infinite of both is very nice. It is a lot of power to create, but I think it's worth it. So we'll probably do that as an infinite form of gold and redstone, which then can be used for mercury and ruby if we are short on ruby. So anyway, we'll do that. That's on the planting project list. That's over here. Glowing coral farm, because glowing coral I think is the best way to get glowstone in a simple method at least. But yeah, and then we also before we go, we'll talk about one more way to do LV circuits, because we just talked about this, right? And this is nice because we don't have to use the rubber, and it's a little bit less red alloy. But more or less, it's what we were doing before, so it doesn't save us all that much. But what you want is these guys. So these guys are the second level, they're the second version of the LV circuit. And they can only be made in the circuit assembler. And they are going to be way cheaper. Well, I thought they were going to be way cheaper. Wait, what? Oh. I guess they don't need vacuum tubes, is why you might do these. My memory was telling me I would get 2 for each craft, but I still don't. So these may or may not be worth it. You essentially replace the vacuum tubes with... Here, let's compare and contrast. So you replace the vacuum tubes with diodes and wire. And you replace the red alloy with tin bolts. And these integrated logic circuits, let's see, you need 1 each. You get 8 per wafer. And you get 16 wafers from a boule. 16 times 8 is 2 stacks. So you would get 2 stacks of circuits from 1 boule. Like, it's not like you need a ton. And then these SMD diodes, kind of like the SMD resistors. Oh, I guess those need platinum. Never mind. How do we get platinum? Canthal. To get platinum nuggets, at least. We can get some from nickel ore. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it here. This has been a fun episode. We've gotten a lot done. We've got MV circuits. I now can also make the crop scanner, which is right here. Because, oh gosh, it requires 4 MV circuits. Oh, that's expensive. But also exciting. I've wanted that for a long time. So I might just make that. And then advanced seismic prospector. We did look into that earlier. What's weird is that this is locked behind the other scanner because you don't need the other scanner, do you? Maybe you do. Maybe the data stick. Wait, you get data sticks as a reward though. Oh, you need to put the data stick in a GT scanner. Okay, so you do need the scanner for that. And then you need the printer as well. So I'm not gonna deal with that right now, but that is a way to look at the ore, the chunks, like ore chunks, without actually exploring underground or using the whatchamacallit. But yeah, we'll call that an episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Ooh, feeling woozy. And I will see you all in the next episode.